Hello, my name is George and welcome to the WWE Smackdown review, where I'll take you through the show and tell you what I liked, what I didn't like, and end the video with the biggest winner and the biggest loser. Let's get into it. We kick off the show with Colombia's own Trick Williams, and what a pop. I expected nothing less. He's been getting great pops every week, but in his own hometown, it was great to see Trick Williams get a massive hometown reception. Really wholesome to see the way that he's been booked this year as well, especially over the last few months coming out of WrestleMania with the US title win. Easily the best thing on SmackDown in 2026. Moving to The Miz and Kit Wilson coming out, it was a good way to get some cheap heat there. I'm keen to see where this progresses and what's next for Trick. Maybe like a Mello, Ricky, Ilya. I think something across those lines is what we're going to see. And I'm keen for it. I'm keen to see what's next for this man. And a great way to start off the show with a great pop. This then leads to The Miz versus Trick Williams, and it was a fun match to kick off the show. Like I said, the crowd was extremely hot for Trick, so he was wrestling as a face, and that was nice to see. I think we are seeing Trick Williams as a face moving forward, and I honestly think that's the best role for him because he's like getting such a great reception every time he comes out. I love the little towels getting thrown around as well. As for the match, I really liked it. It was a solid win for Trick. And like I said, I am excited to see what is next for him. As for the finish, it looked like he adjusted the trick shot and looks like more like a buzzsaw knee, which is like what Danielson does in AEW. And I liked it. It looks a lot more lethal. The old trick shot for a man his size, I think adjusting it to make it look a bit more lethal does help him. And yeah, good match, and I'm keen to see where this goes for Trick. Up next, we move into the women's tag division where we have Brie and Paige versus Giulia and Kiana James. This was okay. I kind of feel bad for Giulia and Kiana. I think what's needed for them is the split. Even though I have liked the dynamic of them working together, it has run its course, and I think if these two do split up and they go their separate ways, it just broadens the division a lot more, and hopefully we can build these guys back up and inject them back into the US title scene as well. Or maybe even Giulia can go after a WWE Women's Championship as well. Up next, we have the Cody Rhodes Gunther segment where Gunther is expected to sign his SmackDown contract. And it is super refreshing to see what we're doing in the WWE title scene post-Mania. We know what happened in the build-up and it wasn't great. And now coming out of it, it's just super refreshing with some new faces. And the boosts for Cody have completely stopped as well. And I wonder if that's a strategic move by the WWE and having a Gunther come out, because we know that that man's not getting cheered over Cody. Royce Keys getting involved was terrific. I liked this so much. And I said in my last video that SmackDown's main event scene was lacking. So having a Royce Keys rock up and say that he wants a title shot was a great move in my opinion. And it really helps his development and also creates just a bit of unexpectedness around the WWE title scene. So great segment, and it also sets up a match later in the show. Moving forward, we have Carmelo Hayes in his return match on SmackDown versus Ricky Saints, and a really fun match. I actually really liked the backstage segment that we had prior to the match. Both these guys can talk really well, and that was shown there. And I don't think this is the last time that we're going to see these two face off. Melo picks up the win by putting his feet on the ropes, which is what Saints just tried to do. And I really like this because now I feel like we are going to have a rematch between these two. And it does create a bit of a mini storyline, which does help Ricky land on SmackDown well. And also Melo just coming back after some time off gets a win. So it's a win-win in my eyes for both these guys. And maybe the winner of this mini feud does go into that US title scene. Melo made it pretty clear that that's what he wants. And I'm excited to see what goes on from here. We then get into Damian Priest versus Tama Tonga, and this feud just doesn't interest me at all. I feel bad for Tama Tonga, man. This man's just taking L's each week, and it just makes me sad. I feel like we need to start pulling the trigger on these backstage segments, and what I'm talking about here is the segments that we have with Shinsuke and Tama, and just happening every week or so, and it's not really leading to anything to the point of like, are we just going to see nothing, or is it just going to fizzle out into nothing? Now, Shinsuke did get attacked by Tama Tonga, which was, I guess, good for this story. I do see the MFTs just winning the tag titles off Priest and Truth, and maybe going through the summer, we have a Solo and Tala versus Tama and Shinsuke. That would genuinely interest me, and it helps elevate this really, really difficult tag division that we have right now on SmackDown. We then have the Jade Cargill segment where she comes out and says that she wants Rhea in Clash in Italy. And yes, this was expected, but like I said in my Clash in Italy card predictions, I hope that we just don't get JC Jane relegated and then we just go back to Rhea and Jade, because JC's done such a good job landing on SmackDown. I would love to see a triple threat, and I don't need JC to win the title. She's new on the roster, but it would be great for her stock if she got chucked in this match and we do have ourselves a triple threat. This then leads to the match with Charlexa versus the Baddies, and it was fine. The result was kind of expected with the DQ finish, and it does set up the 3-on-3 that we're going to see at Saturday night's main event in a couple weeks' time. I do feel like we are eventually going to see Jade Cargill versus Charlotte, and that would be a really fun match, maybe in Queen of the Ring. Moving forward, we have our main event, which is a #1 contenders match for the WWE title between Gunther and Royce Keys, and I loved it. This was a really fun match. Whoever in the booking department said, hey, we should probably finish SmackDown with our WWE title picture. Mate, yes, finally, we have the WWE title picture in the main event where it belongs, not in the middle of the show. This needs to be the closing segment on SmackDown. This is what the show revolves around, should be our WWE champion. I also love having #1 contenders matches. It makes the match have a lot more purpose, and the way that we built this up throughout the show was really good. Despite the result being kind of obvious with Gunther winning, I really like the way that Royce Keys was featured in this match. It helps him a lot. A loss doesn't hurt Royce Keys, because in the same way, like I said, a loss doesn't hurt Soul to Io on Raw in my Raw review. He's new on the roster, and something that we got wrong in the past with these call-ups or new introductions is that we book them to be undefeated for such a long time, and then it ends up hurting them and they get booked into a corner, and then we don't know what to do with them. What we've seen in these new call-ups over 2026 is that they have experienced losses, like Javon's lost, Trick got pinned at Elimination Chamber, Ricky just lost as well, and like I said, Sol on Raw also lost, and that's completely fine. These guys are new on the roster. A loss won't hurt them in the long term. What will hurt them is if we book them into a corner and then we don't know what to do with them because we can't make them lose. So yes, I'm really happy with the way that Royce Keys looked in this match, despite the loss as well. As for the finish of the match, I liked that it was via pinfall. It makes us realize how lethal Gunther's moveset actually is. Back in the day, this man was beating people with clotheslines, with the power bombs, with a massive splash off the top rope as well. It's nice to see that we're looking at how diverse this man's moveset is, and it helps build him up in that match with Cody in Italy as well. As for Royce, I feel like he's just going to demolish Solo in a few weeks' time, which is completely fine. Cody standing tall to end the show was great. Like I said, having your WWE champion featured in the main event area is needed on SmackDown right now. Fantastic ending to the show. I'm looking forward to next week. It is now time to look at my biggest winners and my biggest losers of Friday Night SmackDown. And to kick things off, we're going to talk about the biggest loser. And this week, it's Tonga. I feel bad for this man, like I just said earlier in the video. Second loss in a row. Like, just give this man some meaning and have him partner up with Shinsuke, guys. Like, please, for the love of this tag division, it needs a revival, and I would be super invested in this tag division if we decided to just go down a different pathway with these MFTs and pull the trigger on the Shinsuke and Tama connection. So please give this man some meaning. On to my biggest winner of Friday Night SmackDown. It is Royce Keys. I really like the way that this man was booked on SmackDown. He featured in a couple segments in that main event title picture, and it was just super refreshing to see a new face there. And he didn't look out of place. He performed really well in the match, was really good in the segment with the contract signing as well. So yeah, I do imagine him just demolishing Solo, but he looked great. And I imagine maybe when Gunther beats Cody at Clash in Italy, we do see a matchup between Gunther and Royce Keys again, but for the WWE Championship. So that's it for my WWE SmackDown review. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the show, and if you agreed or disagreed with my thoughts as well. And if you like that video, please subscribe, and I'll see you soon for more wrestling content.